Hello, Ian, the Banjo Man in Morley, Michigan. This is Matthew here with FreePrescriptionLenses.com. And I just wanted to thank you for your patience while I recover. Let me see if I can get that. Does that, hopefully you can see, does that look a lot better? Does it? Okay. Well, I feel a lot better about it. No Band-Aid on there today. So let's go ahead and start making your lenses for you because you've been waiting long enough for these things. So today I'm making prescription transitions gray lenses with Crizal Alize for your new RayBan 8411 color 2714 in the 54 eye size. What color is the 2714, you ask? Look, you got the carbon fiber case. That's different from all the other RayBan cases. It is color this, that color, whatever that color that is. Of course, you get your RayBan cleaning cloth in here, all that stuff. But this is the star of the show, the main attraction. And of course, it is so valuable. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped to me. And I will do the same thing when I ship to you here in Morley, Michigan. You're about right there. And I know people in Michigan are probably sick of people referring to that. He said, Ian, the Banjo Man, saying, yeah, I'm right here, but you can go here. No, at the knuckle. It's a compliment there, right? Go to the knuckle. All right, we're going to keep this rated PG. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's take the sleeve off. Oh, you know, your frame just went down in value. You drove it off the car lot when I take this thing off there. No, okay, so how do I cut a frame like this? There is no rim at the bottom. By the way, hang on, where's my stuff? Where's my flashlight? Here it is. Give it to me, rubber band. Can you see the carbon fiber on there? Ooh, very nice. Okay, everyone at home say it with me. Ooh. Everyone at home say, just get on with the show, buddy. Okay, so here's what I need to use this tool. This is very high tech. I think your price is going to have to go up. It has little grids on there, little lines. So what I'm going to do, put your frame on there, grab another pen, pull the cap off, and I'm going to put 2 dots on there. I'm raising it up to the light because that helps me see it better. 1 dot there, 1 dot there. Is that right? Is that right? Okay, yes, that looks good. That looks good. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, I'll get to do that twice today. This is going to be a good day. So I'm going to take your lens out. Just pop it right out of the frame. Oop, now your frame really went down in value with that in there. So this is it. This is a 20-pound test line monofilament, whatever you call it. That's what holds the lens in place. And what most people don't know is not only do you have one here, you have a matching one in the very top of the frame here too that no one ever sees. All right, that's enough boring trivia for today. So I'm going to take this tool, top, bottom, left, right. Okay, which one's top? Which one's top? Which one's top? Okay, glad you were paying attention. One of us is. So I've got the little sticker. You usually see me use the big stickers in here. The little sticker gets used today. So the reason why I put those 2 dots on there, hopefully you can see that. This has a little line on there. I'm going to hold that up and use that background to make sure this is lined up in there very scientifically by hand. How about that? I love very scientific measurements like the wind chill factor. This is what it feels like. Yeah, that's very scientific. What if it's raining? Yeah, today it's raining, but if you have an umbrella, it's going to feel dry. Okay, so we're going to take this, put it into the thing that you would normally see me trace the frame with. I'm going to put this tool in there and hit this button this time. I'm going to trace the right lens, hit start. It's going to ask me what size is the bridge. The bridge, oh, I didn't write it down. What size is the bridge? 17. Can you see that? 17. So this little tool is going to go around and trace the outside of the lens. It's throwing me off here at FreePrescriptionLenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. They're only disappointed in my poor quality of jokes. But hey, you're going to get another internet sensation to cut your lenses for you with funnier jokes. Let's see you do that. So again, it's a 17mm bridge because on the frame it says 5417. Can you see that? Hopefully my camera is good enough to pick that up. So yes, that is 17, check mark. Yes, it is. So your shape is going to pop up. That is magnified. That is the actual shape of the lens we will be cutting, that green outline. Those 3 things are these tool here. So I'm going to put that back down there. That's what that is. So let's go ahead and enter your pupillary distance, which is 64. You are 32 on both eyes. The computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap this minus button one time because it goes down in 0.5 millimeter increments. Now I know from this frame, most of the lens when you wear it is below eye level, so I'm going to move your optical center up at exactly halfway is 17. I'm going to move it up 3 millimeters, tapping the plus button this time. It is going up in 0.5 millimeter increments till we get to 20. So that's that. Let's go down here and get your lenses prepped. Now, the prescription you sent me, of course, I blacked out your last name, the doctor you went to, all the doctors there, their website, their phone numbers, their email, so no one can spam them. But your prescription reads -175 plus 75, axis 80, your left eye -2 plus 50 at 125. Now, in the old days, everything was done in plus cylinder. Cylinder is your astigmatism. Nowadays, that's when, let's demonstrate on mine, if there was cylinder correction on the front of the lens, that's when it was a plus. Now they have moved it to the back. That's why the lenses are curved this way. The astigmatism correction is on the back surface, so it is a minus. From plus to back makes it a minus. How's this for boring, more trivia? So, remember high school algebra, where your teacher tells you you're going to have to know this to do your job, and you say never. Oh, I am cursed. So, in order to make this, excuse me, in order to make this minus cylinder, you algebraically add these together. So, plus 75 added to minus 175 makes it -1. You change the plus to a minus symbol. That number stays the same, minus 75. But then you change the axis by 90 degrees. So you, in this case, you add 90 to 80 degrees and you get 170 because you can never go over 180. So your left eye, we're going to add plus 50 to -2, making it -150. Change the sign from plus to minus, -50, and this time we subtract 90 degrees from 125 and we end up with 35. I'm sorry, excuse me. All that algebra gets me choked up. No, okay, so where are we at? Okay, right eye, -1, -75, 170. Where is it? There we go. -1, -175 at 170. And this is, hey, another good tutorial here. So, if this was, the way this can be written in plus form, that is your same prescription. You see -175 plus 75, -175 plus 75. But we are going to use the -1 minus 75. -1 minus 75. Let's go ahead and highlight that. You know, in case anyone has been curious in my videos why there's two prescriptions written on the lenses. Same prescription, it's just the two different ways you can write it. Some people are still old school and use plus. Now, the doctors are the top of the pecking order. They can write it however they want. And then the optician like me, who actually does the work, has to change that. Now, also, for years and years, they made medical equipment. The phoropter that you use for the exam could still measure in plus cylinder. The machine still works. There's no reason to buy a new one just to read it in minus. They make us do it. So, all right, I know, shut up, just keep working. So, -1 minus 75 at 170. There we are. To put the power drum on my Marco 101 lensometer to -1. Take the lens out of the protective packet. Of course, it comes with a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect the convex surface of the lens during shipping, so nothing rubs against that. I can take that off now. Put the lens in. That's actually, oh good. I moved the prism ring yesterday, so now I felt so bad he had to wait. I came in on my day off. I'm closed today just to get caught up. So put this back on -1. Rotate the lens till the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of the lens. Check your astigmatism correction, which I'll explain later. Get everything zeroed out. And now I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. Hopefully 3. They never do seem to show up. And I'll just put more ink in there. It still doesn't show. So let me see if I can do this a little darker. Come on, ink. Come on, ink. Give me some fresh ink. Give me some fresh ink. This is the ink I just added and it's still not showing up. My ink well has run dry as well as my witty well. That always runs dry. Alright, so that's a little better. Can you see that? Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, no, me either. Alright, so let me use my pen. 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. and this is the right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the non-right lens. The prescription reads -2 plus 50, -2 plus 50, but I'm using the old, well, the new -150 minus 50, -150 minus 50. Highlight that, because you will be receiving these packets in the mail to verify you're getting the authentic ones. That is the right lens. This is the left lens. So let's take it out of the pack. Take the little laminate off the stuff there. Put the power drum on -150. Rotate the lens until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Everything is lining up. I need to get a camera so you can see what I'm seeing here. Try and get some dots on here. Come on, ink, get on the pointer. See, what I'm doing is I'm dipping that in there, and I'm trying to transfer that to the lens, and it never goes as well. I can actually see it here in the lab, but the camera, hey, there we go. That one's getting a little better. The camera rarely picks that up. So, put some dots there. And this is the unright lens, so we'll mark that with L. And again, if you missed any of that, let me recap. And let me remind you, if you can think of a funnier joke, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I will say it out loud on the air and give you credit for the joke. You don't even have to include your name. I'll recognize your handwriting. Just mail me a $100 bill, okay? All right, so let's take the right lens, put it onto the platform, which we have a, where's my flashlight? We have a collection of little monkey figures hanging out here. Some of them stand up and watch me work. Yeah, and right now you're thinking, I waited a week for this? Yes, yes you did. Yes you did. These are my funky monkeys. Okay, where am I at? Okay, the blocks, the blocks. These are blocks. If you're a Monty Python Holy Grail fan, you can make your own joke now. Message for you, sir. Okay, so I need to attach 2 rubber-coated sticky pads on here. So I'm going to attach these. The black side is the sticky side. Stick one on that block, put that there. Stick one on this block. Now on the back is a silver button that is a magnet that's going to hold its job twice today. Do its job twice today. Let me pull the paper off to make that side sticky. I'm going to attach that magnet to the magnet that is there, something magnetical. And where's my stylus? There it is, there it is. So let's magnify everything again. So the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly for you to see your best. So the blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. This little orange diagram here, that is where I'm going to put everything. That dot is your optical center. Line everything up here. Hang on, let me take a look at everything. We are good. Actually, let me do one thing here. Change things around. I got to move this platform so I can see those dots better. Let me take a look. Let me take a look, and we are good. So again, optical center there. Those 2 dots tells me that it's lined up in there perfectly. I'm going to hit that dot. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the unright lens. Take the paper off to make the black side sticky. Line up that magnet again. Although, even if I didn't line it up, it's not going to go in there. The magnet has something blocking it. That little hole, that peg's going to hit that. So this is foolproof even for someone like me. So this flips over. It mirrors the, you are 32 in each eye. So for a total of 64. So that is mirrored. Your pupillary distance there. We get those 3 dots lined up in there. Check one thing there. We're good to go. We are good to go. Hit that button, the arm comes down and now places the block onto the left lens. So this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work today. It's not going to be running its mouth like I've been doing. This costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on the kitchen counter. Then they can cut their own lenses at home without having to wait for this guy to heal. So I'm telling you, no one likes my jokes. Nobody likes my jokes. So it's a tough crowd. Hello, is this on? Okay, so the magnet is going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, as I call it, the Charles, the Chucky baby. But before I get there, the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It acts like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material. This wheel in the center is only going to be used to flatten it, because then, let's give you the full treatment here. you get to see stuff that no one else does. While we hear the critics who are not happy with today's performance. So this is the wheel that comes out. This blade is going to cut the groove into the lens so it stays inside that string. So this is the actual wheel that puts the safety bevel onto the edge of the lens. This cuts the groove in there. So let me bring that all back. So let's pull up the shape of the lens we'll be cutting today. That is it. So these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that material. And I'm not going to be polishing the lenses. I am going to place a bevel on the front surface of the lens. I'm going to be putting a slightly heavier bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I feel like that BBC News responder had the kids run into the room. You notice how I played that off smoothly? Watch this go viral too. So let's now go ahead and place the lens into the chuck. Hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens that it'll be cutting. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the groove. Although now look at this. Here's a prime example. It's telling me that it doesn't like that front bevel placement. So I'm going to hit that button right there. I'm going to slightly move the bevel backwards some. If I moved it back, this is exactly halfway, 0.68, 0.68. We're going to have 0.68 of a millimeter in front. Where's that groove? And 0.68 millimeters in the back. So I'm going to change that to where we have 0.58 coming out the front, 0.78 coming out the rear. This is your lens if you were actually open up flat. This is what it looks like all the way around. So now I'm going to hit the green start button. The wheel starts up. Has any work actually been done yet? So the wheel is going to, the lens is going to come down onto the cutting wheel. The light you see flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust, the polycarbonate residue as it comes off of the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Now water will spray onto the edge of the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away the optical debris that you see beginning to form on the lens, should any of that be there at the end. Now your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours. This is permanent and will never need to be reapplied. Now, the other thing, you have both transitions, which I'll demonstrate later, and you have the Crizal anti-glare. Anti-glare is 3 features in one. Here's the lens without any anti-glare coating. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights and such. You can see how it's also a second feature. It's a reflection free lens. You can see how the fluorescent lights reflect off of this lens, but it minimizes so much more on your lens. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, they're seeing just your eyes. Now the third feature that I like is it comes with the industry's hardest scratch protection, because it costs well over $1 million. The machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare costs over $1 million, and they literally vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the hardest scratch protection possible to protect your time and investment. So if you notice, your lens is completely flat all the way around. Like a nickel, if I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter. So now it's getting the groove cut into that spinning blade is cutting a groove into the almost middle of your lens. If memory serves me correct, you have 0.58 of a millimeter on the front, which means 0.78 from the back. So it moved it 1/10 of a millimeter forwards to give you the best finish possible. So instead of the lens being like that, it pushed it forward just a little bit. No, I'm sorry, backwards, making that thicker towards the back. I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. So, cutting a grooved semi-rimless lens does take longer than my other videos. Me yapping and talking so much is definitely much longer than most of my videos too. You can tell it's been so long since I've done a video while I was out healing that I'm all excited. Yeah, so I had an ingrown hair follicle become infected from shaving. So I've been telling everyone I'll never shave my legs again. See, I was shaving my legs when the razor slipped and it went up and hit me in the face. No, that's not what happened. The doctor says, quit being cheap and trying to use old razor blades. Go out and buy some new ones. It did feel like I was shaving with a clamshell. Okay, so the groove has been cut. It is now flattening it back out just in case there's any rough edges in the center, almost center of the lens. Residue left over from the groover. So it's making everything nice and flat again. And then, oh, I love it when the timing is perfect. Timing. Water has begun spraying on the lens to wash that away. And then that wheel that you saw earlier, the arm, the lever, depending on what part of the country you're from. The lever, if you're from a French-speaking part of the country. So, now the safety bevel, the light safety bevel is being applied to the front convex surface of the lens. Then it's going to move over, and a slightly heavier bevel is going to be placed on the concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Okay, so the lens is just about finished. In just a moment, I will open this door with my mind. You know, I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can't. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but then I can melt it. All right, so let me dry this off. Again, anyone has a funnier joke, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me. So, look, you still have some schwarf. May the schwarf be with you. That is left over. So what I'm going to do is use my thumbnail and scrape all of that off. The water did not wash all of it, so I'm going to use my thumbnail, go all the way around the front surface of the lens. And what did I call that? The convex. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the concave rear surface of the lens. And that's why I can't have nice thumbnails, because of these types of lenses. So, and once I am satisfied that it has all been removed and it is on the counter, I carefully collect it very neatly into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. You know, when the clown gets to laugh at work, it's a good day. And why did I do that? Because it's to send a signal to kids. Kids, I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like this, so if you want to grow up and make a mess, you gotta stay in school. So, alright, so the lens is ready to be mounted. I'm going to tuck it in right there. Look, it's the same. Where'd your other one go? Where did your other one go? There's the original one. Let me pull that sticker off. See, it overlaps perfectly. Look at that. Look at that. You have a now twin right lens. I don't even need this anymore. Let's take this off. Oh, good. The red dot is still there. I love it when the red dot stays. So, we're going to get everything lined up. And you always heard that saying, you have to have the right tool for the job. Very rarely is that tool a little piece of plastic ribbon, something you could use to wrap an Easter present that you'll be sending me for Easter. I like candy, little chocolate bunnies, peeps, you know. I like getting peeps from my peeps. Everyone out there watching this, mail me a $100 bill and some peeps. Okay, so I fold this in half so I can grab both sides. I slide that through the first one, grab the second side, and when I always like to start at the outside corner and work my way towards the nose, and when you hear that little snap, it is in there. I don't use this finger, I don't use that finger, I don't use my ring finger. Instead, I use this finger to place on the lens. Don't know why, that's just how it happens. And then I slide the string out the lens is mounted in there with that beautiful little red dot. So let's do the same thing now for the left lens. Flip that over to L, press that on there good, place that into the chuckster, the Charlie baby. Hit start, just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced again. But what used to be white styluses when the machine was new, now it's a little bit off-white. And you can see as it's tracing the shape of the lens, and again measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where it's going to tell me where to place the bevel. It could be happy with it this time. It is. There's no little error code that would show up there, so I'm going to hit that green button. And of course, no edge thickness whatsoever. Let's come down here to back to my Marco 101 lensometer, and we're at 170. Hang on one second. How did I do that? Let me double check something. It should have been stuck on your left eye, the 35 axis. It is on 170. So what is that telling me? Did I mark this one upright? Now the video is going to be even longer than necessary. Dry everything off. Let's see if I can put this in. If it is on 170, I will see this power pop up. Ooh, and it is. So look at that. See, you caught me paying attention. Let's go ahead and take this block off. Let's clean these dots off. Boy, that was a close one. I almost messed up on this lens. I am rusty from being out of practice. Let's turn the axis wheel to 35. 35 for minus 150, minus 50 at 135, minus 150. Put that in, find the spherical component. See, less talking, more work. Check your astigmatism correction. That is good. See, I was explaining plus cylinder when I should have just been doing everything the right way. Are the dots on there? Move that so I can see. Here we go. 1, 2, 12. Again, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. You can see how the L was at the top. Now it is rotated. That tells me that's at 35 degrees. That was close. Come back down here to the blocker. Pull the shape back up. Now, of course, it likes doing things for both lenses, so I'm going to hit the right lens where that's supposed to go. Let me grab another block, another sticker. I wasted one of these. Look, you see how many I have here? That was close. I almost run out. So, take that off, line up that magnet, put that on there, get everything lined up. Where's the stylus? Make sure that center dot is where it is supposed to be. Those other two dots line up nicely. Check one thing, we're good there. Hit that button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the new corrected left lens. And now let's put it back in there and hit start again. My flashlight. So is it going to start all over again? No. Okay, it's ready to go. Whoo, that was close. Okay, so let's check your right eye back to 170. Never claimed to walk on water, but I do catch things. Am I perfect? No. Do I work very hard to become better every day? Also no. Okay, let's see. And you're thinking, I paid for this? Okay, so your right eye reads -1. Can you see that? That little tick mark there? Your right eye is -1, minus 75 at 170. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, and I will explain this using my almost new paperclip. I spared no expense using very expensive props here. So you are nearsighted. You need 4 steps of far-sighted correction. Everything is in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. So you need 4. You're on the 4th rung of a ladder. You need 4 steps of correction to see far away. Without your glasses on, you can see up close great. But you can't, everything is actually much too large in real life, so that's why there's a minus sign here. The images are actually minified when you put by 4 steps when you put your glasses on. Now you have 3 steps of astigmatism correction. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair, or someone else who plays the banjo who has a shaved head. No one freaks out when they hear that, unless it's really cold up there. Maybe you should grow your hair out. But So, where was I? I digress. Okay, so you have 3 steps of astigmatism correction. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. It is the fine-tune knob, so we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 170. That's why I checked and I saw I was still on 170. Your fine-tune knob for your left eye is 35, which I corrected. So, you have 3 steps of astigmatism correction. I will turn it to 3 steps, and we end up with minus 175, 1 tick mark away from 2. So, remember high school algebra again? I keep referring back to it. You add 2 like signs together. So if someone owed you $1, then they borrowed another 75 cents, they would owe you $1.75. That's where we're at, 175 in the red. So, we turn that fine-tune knob to 170, a straight line. The cap of my pen is 0, 90 at the center, 180 over here, 370, 270, excuse me, for those of you keeping score at home, if you were going to make a complete circle, but my arm doesn't work that way. So, we're going to turn that fine-tune knob past 90, almost to the 180, and we're going to stop at about 170. So your left eye, you actually need 6 steps of far-sighted correction for your myopia, but you need 2 steps additional from your right eye, but you need 1 step less of astigmatism correction. So here the total combined value is 175, the total combined value here will be 2, and that knob will be at 35. So we're just going to turn it to about right here. Now it looks like, now these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This could be anywhere from 0 to 180, although people will argue 0 and 180 are the same number because it's the flat line. So it could be anywhere from 1 to 180. And so you happen to be 35 on the left eye, 170. Really they're close because 170 is 10 degrees away from the 180, the horizontal meridian. 35, as you would have guessed, is 35 degrees away from the 180 meridian. But that's where we will end up there. We'll end up at -2, a little bit closer to that 2 mark for your left eye. The camera keeps pushing my glasses down. I'll leave that down there. So I'm guessing at this point it's already got the groove cut into the lens. It is flattening out that again. Should the groover make any rough edges, it's flattening it back out. Water has begun spraying, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, washing away the debris. Although last time it didn't do a good job. I had to scrape it off and put it on the counter, causing me to wipe it on the floor. So now, the lever comes back out. The spinning wheel on the far right is putting the safety bevel to the front surface of the lens. Safety bevel just means it's taking off any rough edges around the edge. Yes, file that under the Department of the Redundancy Department. And now it's going to move it and do the same thing for the rear side of the lens. Should any of this come in contact with your face, it'll be nice and smooth. All right, Ian, the Banjo Man, this time I want you to open the door with your mind. Hey, pretty good, Ian. First day on the job, you already got it. So everyone out there who believes in telekinetic energy, raise my hand. See, it's not, oh, wait, what's going on? It really does work. Okay, so I've dried the lens off so it's not slippery. Oh, that's some good ones. Look at that. I love it when it comes off. It's like when you clean the lint trap in the dryer. This time I'm just going to let it fall right to the floor. I'm eliminating the middleman. Who needs that counter? We're just going to drop it right down. Plus, the reason why I do that, it fools people. If people come over and you see the dirty floor, it makes it look like I've been working. I love fooling people that way. So remember, when you're at work, have a messy desk. And people think, oh, okay, God, that guy's working. Or she. By the way, Ian, wanted to give a shout out to Mom Maureen, who I've been corresponding with, who loves the Transformer movies, who wanted me to tell people that I had, come on camera, I've got to fix my band, it's slipping at my age, but she wanted me to tell people that I was injured fighting the Decepticons. Is that it? She's going to lose all respect for me when I tell her I've not seen a Transformers movie, and you may too, because I'm here working all the time. Where's your glasses? Here they are. Okay, let's see if I'm any good. When really it was a shark bite. is what happened to me. The shark bit me back. Now, I bit the shark first, but the shark bit me back, and I didn't see that coming. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure that the left lens fits in there perfectly, and then we'll inspect it to make sure I did my job right. So again, my little ribbon, fold it in half, grab that string, grab both sides of the ribbon, start at the outside corner, work my way towards the nose. When you hear that snap, it is in there. Which finger do I like to use? Oh yeah, this finger placed right there. And playing banjo, use this finger too. So do a video, give a shout out to me using this finger. And slide that out, come down here, spin the axis wheel, the fine tune knob to 35, which is exactly halfway between 30 and 40. Where's my camera? My flashlight. I've got a smaller flashlight, I just can't find it. So yes, that is now between 30 and 40, halfway, 35. Put it in over that red dot. Check the power. Whoo! Sweating bullets there. Minus 150. Minus 150. Let's check your 2 steps of astigmatism correction. And we end up at minus 2. Okay, now's the time. Let's all take a deep breath. Breathe a sigh of relief that was cut correctly. That could have been ugly, delaying things even more. Your pupillary distance is 64, 32 on both eyes, so I'm going to flip the card over. Place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and when we look on the left lens, we're getting 64 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I couldn't have done a better job if I had done this myself. Well, I could have done a better job. I could have gotten the left lens right the first time. The left lens right, is that? No, okay. So here's the point in my video, that as I clean your glasses, and I always mention free shipping anywhere in the US. And last I heard, Morley, Michigan is in the United States. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no exception. I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the lenses being 3. I set on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. I take mine off and I press down. They wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Flip this over, press down. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly and that neither one is askew like that, that everything is matching. Check the tension on each hinge to make sure those are matching. Now this is what they look like when they are clear. I have not activated them yet. I want to clean them with your premium microfiber cleaning cloth that you will be receiving. I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works. Again, I love doing this with your cloth, taking a brand new cloth and using it to clean your lenses. So when you get this in the mail and you see the wrinkles in here, you know it works. I've tested it. I mean, I've got this one in my pocket, but why would I want to use mine when I've got a brand new one right there? Oh, I've had too much caffeine today. Okay, so is that such a thing? Is too much? Is there too much caffeine? I think too much is not enough. So this is what your lenses look like clear. I will activate them in my Transitione box. It comes from Italy. Place that in there, hit start. There's all these little LED lights in there. You can see them in there. So all transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they will continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks they're exposed. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 70 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. Now, the only time they will not work is when you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun all day. That's what prevents the lenses from turning dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, yes. Or as soon as you get out of the car, they will darken. You just have to have direct exposure to the sun. So that is it. They have now been darkened. Just, you know, again, they will continue to darken. This is just the first time. Come on, Ian, we talked about this. Don't you remember? They're going to keep getting darker. Don't you worry. So that is that. Ian, I hope you enjoyed watching, although I don't think anyone really has, if I can be honest. But not even Maureen. But I do hope you enjoyed watching. I do thank you for your patience while it took me to cut your RayBan. Where did I do my flashlight again? Here it is. Let's bring everything back down here. The RayBan 8411 color 2714 in the 54i size. If anyone has any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. And yes, you can contact me and tell me that there are decaffeinated products out there that is just as good as the original. But other than that, hopefully everyone else has gotten the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.